In this lucid dream, I always find this little boy that approaches me, and I'm in shock because this is a little boy in the middle of nowhere, and I'm scared. I don't understand what am I doing here, and like, what the hell am I supposed to do? Now I have a kid in front of me that looks kind of weird. A beautiful 5 years old child, but his eyes are a little bit like bigger with huge eyelashes. And he looks at me like he's curious about me. Like, the feeling is like, maybe this was the first time he's seeing like a human, and he's like curious about me. But he raises his hand and just takes me. We are starting walking in this desert. I don't see nothing, not a tree, no water, no humans. Suddenly there is a tent in the middle of nowhere. And so I said, oh my God, this is great. We have shelter. Now I don't know this kid. What are his parents? Like, what the hell is going on? I was really stressed. So I said, okay, great. You see, we have this tent, and we will have shelter, and maybe his family is there. It looked like a 10 people tent, you know, and so
Mhm.
this little child takes me inside this tent. But when I go in, this is not a tent. This is a huge structure, a huge round construction, you know, um, like with two
Like a
floors.
different realm?
No, it's like, when you hear these experiences where you see a craft, an alien craft that looks maybe small like an orb, but people
Mhm.
are taken there, and when they go inside, turns out the dimensions of the craft inside are huge and different. So that
Right.
was the feeling. Suddenly I was seeing like a huge round place that from the outside looks like a nothing tent, and in the inside there is like a huge ER place. So this place was full of beds, and in each bed there is a woman having birth in different stages. That's why my feeling is, if this is like, I'm talking with my instincts here. I don't really know what's going on. I'm still trying to find answers here, but maybe I am a part, like, from my hybridization program or whatever, because this is also related to my ovulation period. Yeah. So I saw all this bed, like, full of women having birth in different stages. Some babies were already born. Uh, and when I learned, like looking to my left, there is like this Lego cube structure and an entity sitting there. It doesn't look human, more like a hologram, some kind of hologram. And he just looks at me and tells me, like, we are glad you are here because you're the only one that can help us and save us. And so this child that found me before, he takes my hand again. And when he raises his hand and do like something like this, I see exactly like two floors, about 50 beds inside, all the women having birth. And my instinct is just, run and try to help everyone, because there was too much screaming and blood, and, women having birth. They were in pain. They didn't seem to be like under anesthetics. There were other entities next to those beds. I don't recall if they were grays or what kind of identities were there, but I do recall a praying mantis in that craft. And so um, I just, I started running. I took everything I saw in, and just approached every single bed and baby to check if they are alive, if they like, and vital signs, if they need to start labor, well, let's do it. And it was a huge stress. And um, at some point, I just come back to bed from this lucid dream, and um, I'm still paralyzed and in shock. Every time this happens, it takes me quite a time to recover and understand that I was there again, and the pain, and um, trying to understand why, what is going on. And there was this time when I woke up from this dream, and after I calmed down, I made some coffee, I'm having a seat, and suddenly I see on my leg a mark. There was just a mark there, very peculiar mark. And so, looking for answers, I I got to this experiencers UFO page, and I asked if maybe someone have seen a mark like this. And then someone told me, you need to see Terry Lovelace's mark because it looks exactly the same. And so I searched for Terry Lovelace's mark, and I got his x-ray, and man, it's just exactly the same mark. Why did it happen? How did it happen? There was like no cut or something. It's just like a stamp in my leg, and it took about 24 hours to disappear. I checked on myself. Maybe I'm having an allergy, but I wasn't having like respiratory issues, or another like other signs in my body. Nothing. This was just like a stamp, and it took like 24 hours to disappear. So still looking for answers, when I tell this story. Maybe just because in the second floor there were like smoked windows, my feeling is that there were humans there looking at whatever was going on in the ER in the first floor where I was dealing with these women. And so sometimes people tell me, well, maybe this is related to the military abductions, you know, so called my lab. So I don't know. I don't want to say I know everything. I have all the, I don't. I don't. I'm just sharing my story. And if you find something related, or you felt or lived something like this, just let me know, because I'm trying to find answers. So that's more or less my story. Now, till now, I'm just an ET researcher, experiencer, and investigator, and doing everything I can just to work on this disclosure. Not because the alien issue and like all the Hollywood thing. It's just because there is a huge community of experiencers, even suffering from post trauma disorder because of their experiences. And so, talking about this and sharing our stories is the only way we have to understand what is going on, and understanding ourselves too, because growing up with this experience, nobody talks about it. At some point, you think you're crazy, but this is
Mm,
like a call
right.
for me. I cannot stop. It's amazing. I wish I could have a vacation from it, but I can't. It's like I cannot stop. doesn't stop, you know. So yeah, that's the story.
That's called narrative therapy, telling your story and processing it with other
Right.
people, you know, and that it is helpful. It's evidence based,
TD,
you
I'm
know.
gonna put you up there. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, just, I
Hey,
mean,
can I just say,
yeah,
she looks
yeah.
like she could kick butt, and I'll shut up now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You look. Were you ever in the Israeli army?
Mm.
I was, yes, I
Yeah,
was,
Oh,
Ah,
kick my butt.
military
but
girls, military girls.
yep, yep.
yeah, I cannot really talk about it because
Sure.
I was maybe the best way I can say it is kind of intelligence recruited. So I
Mm-hmm.
cannot really talk about this,
Mm-hmm.
but
That's
yes,
bad.
um,
But you're
yeah,
required, aren't you required to do some military service, Israeli citizens? Is it just the men that are
no,
required, or
no,
am I wrong together?
no, women too. We
Wow.
are all required to do the IDF, unless you have, you know, some kind of problem that you
What is
cannot
IDF?
do it for whatever reason. The Israeli Defense Forces, our
Okay.
army,
So
that's the
that's the
name.
military. Yeah.
I was like, I need the
Strong.
Yeah, sorry.
acronym broke down for me.
Yeah. It's all
Yeah,
different
sorry. No,
everywhere.
it's like,
Yeah.
yeah. And so we are all required to do it. And you can end with the service, but still you will always go to reserve. And that's what we are doing now. All our reservists and women and men are right now in the field. And yeah,
Hmm.
I
Well, well,
cannot be there because I suffer from post trauma myself. Before
Sure.
coming to Israel, I had like a pretty bad experience. I was raped,
oh my
and
God.
Yeah.
it's okay. We can talk about it. I have
Hmm.
healed. It took a long
Good.
time. But then when I
Hmm.
came to Israel I came into Israel in 1999, and in 2001, the second Intifada started. So we had here a lot of suicide,
Hmm.
terrorist attacks, and my first roommate died in the spot in one of those terrorist attacks.
Oh, I'm so
So
sorry.
I
Hmm.
sure hope there was
yeah,
justice for your attacker. I hope your attacker got justice. I'll leave it at that. That's terrible.
Yeah, you don't have to go into
yeah,
details, but that's, yeah, I'm sorry that happened to you.
God, whatever doesn't kill
it's
you makes you
okay.
strong.
We
Yeah,
love you,
it's
Polly.
you know it's this. Thank you.
Mhm.
Mm.
We're good, Polly. We love you. We're so happy you're here tonight.
Mhm.
Thank you
Thank
for
you for
sharing.
sharing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, Danny, are you ready to come up with your
Well,
urban legend?
wasn't it TD's turn?
Um,
I interrupted. I think it's
No,
TD's
no,
turn.
no. I don't think so. No, it's okay.
I'm sorry. I need to
We're
just.
going boy,
I
girl, boy,
agree with
girl.
Chance. TD should go next. Let's put her back
okay,
up
Well,
there.
I
TD
could.
is
Put
coming
her
I'd
up.
back
love
up
to.
there. There you
TD
go.
is coming up.
I meant no
The world
disrespect,
knows
Dan.
about
I thought I
tonight
was.
show.
I thought I was reeling us back in. I'm sorry, Dan. I meant no disrespect. And I just, Polly, you're more man than I am. Thank you for your service, even though I'm not
What's up,
a
Ricky's
citizen of
Radio?
Strength
Israel.
is strength,
No,
whether it's
Chance.
gender related or not.
No,
Strength is
Chance,
Chance.
strength.
please
Yeah.
say hi to Jerry Dobson.
Chance, I
Hey,
think you're
Gary
brilliant.
Dobson, Nostalgia World Facebook.
Okay,
Mhm.
thank
Well,
you.
anyway, Chance, I think you're brilliant.
Well, thank you, sir. You too.
Well, I guess I have a lot. I have a lot of things that came up when I saw the first question. So, the first thing I want to talk about is I have real issues like from Girl Scouts and stuff with like the Ouija board and stuff like that. I just don't.
Oh
I don't
my
like to be
God,
around
yeah,
it. I don't like to be around
Agreed.
it.
yes.
Yes.
Agreed,
I
TD.
and I remember too, like being left out because I was religious. I went to church twice a week. My parents didn't even go. They dropped me off. Like my dad dropped me off. I was like Wednesday and Thursday nights, And
We have a
I mean
babysitter, a free
I
babysitter.
I got confirmed on my own. Yeah, exactly. I got confirmed on
Yeah.
my own, and I remember my dad saying like, "I'm so proud of you." I was like, "Well, this is what you do when you're this age." He's like, "But not kids don't do it like on their own. Like he was so proud, he's like almost crying, like I went through, I told him about like when I had to be at church, I just did everything myself. So but I really like, I think because I went to a Methodist, I was baptized Lutheran, but then I went to an evangelical church too, which was like down the street, really kind of basically a Christian kind of concept, but a little bit unique. But they did like try to, and I look back now and I see that they definitely like tried to kind of carry over an agenda a little bit, which is kind of weird. But my parents weren't really involved, so they really didn't like know. You know what I mean? Like for instance, like we had, somebody come in and talk about how abortion is wrong no matter what, and I remember like asking like, well, what if there's a circumstance where there's incest, and they're like, no, it's wrong. God has a plan for everyone. I'm like, well, wait a minute, that's like, it was kind of weird. But anyways, and
Yeah.
that was church. And I was also a Girl Scout. So the Girl Scout, Girl Scouts, you are self-sufficient. You create like a little bit of a plan, not as much as Boy Scouts, of like survival and all this stuff. And so here I was like, you can make decisions on your own, and you can do great things like sell cookies. Just kidding. And a product everyone wants. It's so hard. And then in church, it's like, well, no, this is wrong, no matter what. It's like really like made you kind of, it's a little gaslighting, a little like questioning of, wait a minute, I feel that, and I think that's true. But anyways, regardless of that, I just knew like, and a lot of times in like with evangelical church, like that's, we don't do that. Like that's the message is, don't conjure up something like that because it's, I don't know if there was like something in the Bible or that they related to something. It just, you just weren't supposed to do that, So that scared me. And then they would do like the whole like Bloody Mary thing in the mirror. I still to this day can't look at a mirror in the dark. I can't do it.
Oh my
When I go into the
God.
bathroom
Mhm.
at night,
Mhm.
when I go into the bathroom at night, I
Mhm.
turn my head from the mirror. And
Me too.
I'm not going in there.
Any position in my
Yeah.
bedroom cannot
It's
be like
probably really
looking at a
sensitive.
mirror. Mhm.
I was probably
Oh,
still scared in my mid-20s. That's
okay.
crazy.
So
Yeah.
Mhm.
light as a feather,
Mhm.
stiff as a board. Light as a feather, stiff.
We
Yes.
never got that to work. I was never scared of that one.
Well, I didn't like that either. I didn't like any of the culty kind of things. But also, I was born on Halloween, so like, and some of the kids would be like, "Well, yeah, she's probably gonna like
Really?
really,
Stiff as a
yeah."
board. Excuse me. How'd you know?
Light as a feather, stiff as a board.
Wow.
Too soon. Too soon.
Wah, wah, wah.
No, I'm kidding. But like so then I was a little bit, and that was odd. I was like an old soul. I mean, my parents had me when they were like 40, and I came out like singing and dancing. I collected milk glass as a kid. Like I was just weird. So,
You
I
like
was
go
not
to the flea market and you're like, oh, milk glass. Yay.
exactly and vintage.
It's like that
I
kid,
like vintage clothes. And,
avocado.
yeah, exactly. That's he's so happy. But and I just like I don't know. It's just different. I put on little plays in for my neighborhood all the time, and I like had a stage in my basement at my house and stuff, and so I was just unique. So I was already like a little bit of an outcast. So when they did all that stuff and I didn't participate, it's like, oh, probably because she was born on Halloween and she has her own experiences. She probably has voodoo dolls of us and blah blah blah. And I'm like, I don't yet. I'm a Scorpio, so we're not mean until we have to be. But
Yeah,
and once we are, we look out. But anyways,
we sure can be, right?
yes, especially Scorpio women. We're a tough bunch, but anyways, we're a strong bunch and we're gifts. But anyways, so that was an issue with that whole thing, and I really don't. I mean, I kind of understand it's like probably a subconscious or conscious thing with the Ouija board or just people messing with you. Although, like, and I watched like like the ghost hunters, which is really just a joke. I mean, these guys have been hunting ghosts for like 12 years and not a one has been.
Yeah.
They text them even though they're in like they speak German and they're texting them in English. I'm like, come on. There's
Did
actually
you feel those energies around you where you were a child? Like, were you
I felt
feeling all
icky.
these?
I felt
Yeah.
icky. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah, I
yeah,
understand.
it's an empath thing, I think. Like that.
Yes. Yeah, I
Right.
totally get it. I'm an empath too, like a too much
Yes.
empath sometimes.
Exactly,
Yeah.
right. It's a
Yeah.
blessing and a curse. But that so that I didn't feel good about that. I didn't feel right about that. Although they say people born on Halloween do not are not approached by ghosts because we have this veil because we were born on Dias las Muertas and that ghosts just do not they don't approach. So I mean I try to believe it even if it's not true, just because,
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Never heard.
yeah. Every single
Wouldn't
time I've gone to a psychic reading, they say the same thing. You've got a veil. You have to protect it. Are you a reader? They ask me if I do a psychic, and I say no. And every single time I go to every single like psychic or reading, they ask me that. It's really strange. But
What are you doing in North Carolina? If I don't mind my ask, if you don't
oh,
mind me.
just for fun with my boyfriend. We're just like, yeah, in fact, actually, like after this, I have to go because like we're gonna try to like do a late dinner. But we just wanted to go to the beach, and my kids are going back to school, and like they're with their dad this weekend. So we're like, let's just drive to a close beach. So we just came here.
Well, thanks for finding the time to be on the panel in the middle of your vacation.
Yeah, of course, no problem. In fact, my boyfriend's like kind of taking a nap, so I was like, this is a perfect time. It's like absolutely like wonderful, like the timing because he
You
sleeps.
wore him out. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I don't sleep. I've never been a good sleeper. I'm not. I don't sleep well. I don't need a lot of sleep. So like he'll like sleep, and he always does this food coma thing. He'll like eat and fall asleep, and I'm like, so so I'm like, yeah, I have something to do too before we go somewhere. But
I'm gonna have
anyways,
to give up meat now
Food
because you
coma.
don't eat meat and you have all this energy. So maybe I
I
should
eat
give
a
up.
lot of well, I eat a lot of protein from the
She
earth.
eats a
You
lot
don't
of
need
protein. It doesn't have to
yeah,
be meat just to be
exactly
protein.
right. We don't need cow's
Yeah.
milk. We need calcium. So there's a bodybuilder, a really good bodybuilder that is vegan. It's really interesting. But anyways, that's beside the point. Okay, so that's the one piece of it. The second piece of it is I just finished The Staircase, the documentary. Have you guys seen that?
No.
Oh, please do, so we can talk about it.
How can
Because
we see it?
it's on HBO Max. No, it's on Netflix now, I think. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure. Yeah.
Thank you.
What's the
And it's
name
like
again?
it's called The Staircase. And I don't know if people in chat
Okay.
have seen that. If you guys have, let me know because there's okay. So in a nutshell, I'm gonna have to get some water for this because it's gonna be strap in, you guys. I hope you brought a lunch or packed razor. And I'm just gonna break it down very, very just kind of in a nutshell. So there was in 2001, this poor woman Kathleen was murdered, and according to her husband, at the time according to her husband, they were very much in love. They were like best friends. They were hanging out by the pool. They have a very beautiful home, very wealthy family. Hanging out by the pool. They had a couple glasses of wine. She went in the house, and there's fountains and stuff. So he did not hear her scream. This is according to this is his account. He went in the house, and it was just an absolute bloody mess. So and she was like multiple times bludgeoned over the head. I mean, blunt force trauma was what killed her, and all of his kids, even her, I think, except for one child, like because they had a blended family, even her daughters and stuff, I think were pretty much on board for the most part. I might get that wrong, but his kids were very active in his like whole legal process because that was 2001. He I think it was like 8 years, or no, he did 8 years in prison, like over it before and then he had a trial, and then had a retrial or another trial, and then finally ended where he took an Alford plea in 2017. And you guys know what an Alford plea is? I'm not sure if we have legal people in here. Do you guys know?
I do, but you might want to explain it for the layman.
Basically, it's kind of saying like I'm going to plead guilty with this, but because maybe the prosecution has enough evidence to maybe prove something, but I'm not saying I did it. So it's really saying our system is kind of messed up. So it's saying like I'm going to say I did it, don't really mean it, but I'm going to do that so I can get my time served and not have to deal with this anymore, basically. So that was that. And I mean, but so this whole Staircase documentary, I mean, they started filming right when everything was going down. And they filmed right up until the point where he said, I'm taking this Alford plea, and did it in court. So that's 16 years. This has been like, I mean, his attorney was working with him, and then he also lost his home. I mean, he had like 300,000 that he gave up for like bond and stuff. He had to be in indigent or whatever because he couldn't pay his attorney anymore, who worked very hard, very hard. I mean, he's the reason why this man is free. Basically, he really was a very proactive attorney, defense attorney. But so there are these. Okay, so after this wasn't even mentioned in the documentary, but one of the theories is, and you guys, it's so bizarre. I even feel weird even saying it. One of the theories is that she was attacked by an owl. I swear to you, like the way that the scratches were, and the blood splatter, and all the the blunt force and all that, they think an owl got in there and attacked her, and she died. So that's just how do we not have closure and not know that? Like how do her poor kids like not know exactly what happened? So if you look up the owl theory, I mean, it's just it's bizarre, but it does kind of make sense, you know? So I don't know. I'm gonna check chat. You guys still there?
Yeah, we're here, TD.
Okay. I just nobody's saying anything. I'm like, hello, what's going on?
I was Googling,
Yeah.
but that
So
means I'm listening.
okay, good. But you would like it too, Snarky. I know you would. But and it's the beginning, of course, it's a little bit. It's really like a lot of legal jargon and like kind of like where I want to say he somehow there's filmmakers within the family or something because they did document this from the get-go, and he still stands firm and to his and oh, and there's so much evidence that was like just like not properly stored. There's some ethical stuff. There's like one guy that testified about blood splatter that was he did a reenactment that was like laughable. I mean, it really was didn't even it wasn't even relevant to like, I mean, it was really, really unique. But yeah, and I'm curious to see like if you guys after you watch it, what maybe that could be our book club thing or something. But I need to talk to somebody about it. But I need to know like too. I want to get some opinions about what you guys think, and then also because the reason why I read about this too that they did not include the owl theory, it was because it was not brought up in court because that was definitely a later theory, especially with, even think from 2001 to 2017, the dynamic like technology advances we've experienced, with DNA, with like ancestry stuff, with just like even like the field of, like blood splatter experts, stuff like that. We've really come a long way. So a lot of
Yeah.
things have shifted, changed. And you know what? Can they go back and look at evidence? No, because they contaminated it, so
Oh, yeah. Well,
that's
and
not
that,
fair.
or they
That's a due
lost
process.
it, or any
Yeah.
number of other things,
I mean, just absolutely careless. Like they had stuff. So they had movers come and move stuff because they moved like offices or something or agencies, and they had movers come and all like there was evidence from other cases that were like included with this. So now it's completely contaminated and it includes evidence that's not even related. And then the other, who knows what happened to the other poor person's case, like with their evidence, and then it's just, that was a big fat mess for sure. Yeah.
that's for another channel.
It definitely is, but it is definitely an unsolved mystery. And I really think about it a lot, especially because it's very fresh. I just finished it because I watched it kind of in spurts, like when I was doing laundry and stuff, because it's not like it is kind of like a bender type of show, but like at the same time, it's a little boring, like slow moving, unless
Right.
you really
Thank
love
you,
true crime.
Chance. That was the one I was going to pull up too. Has anyone had an out of body experience?
Oh, that's a
I
good
think I'm
question.
having one right now.
Oh, did I make Danny speechless? Did this really happen?
I got admonished by Mushroom Annie for being a creeper. Sorry about that. I was just trying to tell a joke.
Oh, come on,
Earlier.
please.
But Jerry Dobson on Facebook asked that question.
What question?
Anyone have an out of body experience? I've had
That's a
3
good
in
question.
my lifetime so far. Wow.
Well, I don't know if my lucid dream is an out of
I
body
would say, yeah.
experience,
I would say the sleep
right?
paralysis. Yeah. I would say sleep paralysis is
Yeah.
definitely, yeah.
Well, I mean, a lucid dream is a dream.
Well,
Okay.
but you're kind of
I
feeling
mean,
like you're
I'm
there.
not
Yeah.
saying that you can just automatically tell them apart, whether you've just had a dream or an out of body experience. I'm just saying that those two things are definitely different.
Especially when hers is like a
Hi,
string
Rome.
of like continuations of that. It's like a series.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean,
Mhm.
yeah, and it really plays like a legitimate, stereotypical hero story kind of thing. It plays like literature.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That is really interesting for a dream, but that comes from the lucid part. It's your actual
But
brain making that into that.
well,
Lovely.
she's so affected by the experience too.
Mhm.
That's why it's like a PTSD symptom in addition to, like
PTSD comes with dadgum, very vivid dreaming. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yes. Yes,
or
it
flashbacks.
is.
Yeah,
It's really traumatic. All that situation was really traumatic
right.
in the
And I don't know
ER.
about the
Yeah.
like
You don't
where
call it,
about
when you have PTSD, you don't call them things we have dreams. You call them night terrors. Let me tell you about it.
Yeah, night terrors for
or
sure.
You
flashbacks.
don't have dreams like
Nightmares.
normal people. You
They
have
are
horrible,
night.
horrible nightmares.
You're affected. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Mhm.
So
have a I
trust me, I
actually
know.
Mhm.
I have a emotional support animal. She's a cute little pug that's under me. If you hear
Mm.
snoring, that's from my emotional support animal.
Oh yeah, my cats too.
It's a metronome.
They feel my soul so strongly. Like my
Mhm.
cats
Absolutely.
feel my heart. They won't leave me. They are on
Hmm.
me all the time
Hi,
whenever they feel
Rome.
my,
That's how my cat
yeah, it's
Charlotte is. Oh my
amazing.
god.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
Zombie says they used to fly in their dreams.
He used to
Ooh.
fly in
Oh
his dream.
Well,
yeah, I had
Yeah.
several where I was on the back of a big old kite, and
It
at
wasn't
first
God,
I
it
was
was
just
a
on the
blue.
kite and someone was flying it, but then they let go or something, and I'm flying. I'm trying to steer this thing, and it's going great, and I'm real happy. And then it wasn't going great anymore. Oh yeah, oh boy,
You can meditate and have an out of body experience.
Mhm. Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, I've done
yeah,
that
absolutely.
meditating.
Train your
You can.
I've
brain.
done it
Oh yeah.
meditating, yeah.
Uh huh.
well, my father told me once because at some point I just needed to talk to someone, you know,
Mhm.
You
and my
do.
father was mentioning like this kind of presence in the third floor of our house. And so
Oh wow.
we talked about it, and he told me like, once he told me like he was sitting let's say in his place with his sister, and his sister was talking to their mother, which means my grandmother. Okay.
Mhm.
But my father suddenly felt like his soul was getting out from his body,
Oh
and he
gosh.
got to the city where my grandmother was. So he was next to my grandmother in other city, next to my grandmother, while he was sitting next to his sister in Bogota. And he
Hmm.
didn't understand how the hell this happened, but he had
Mhm.
a few more experiences like these. Till the third experience, he couldn't find his way back to his body. And
Oh my
that
god,
was
like
really
soul snatching
stressful.
kind of like
Yes,
yeah.
that was really
Ooh,
stressful for him. And that's
sure.
the point that he said, okay, like I'm not doing this anymore. But he was having that kind of experiences that was so interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh. Hmm.
I see Danny Staten. Oh, I did. Psych.
Um, Peter asked if I fell to the ground. I think that was directed at me, and yeah, but I didn't not hit the ground, fall to the ground, of course, because most people they don't hit the ground. They always wake up before, you
Mhm.
know, for
Typically, yeah.
whichever reason, having to do with
Mhm.
your limbic system and stuff. But
Yep.
but yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
and then I woke
true.
the heck up. He was like, "Oh, gee, oh, like I do a lot."
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's true. It happens to me
Yep,
too.
it's a
That's
very
true.
common experience.
Chance, will
The
you read
falling
Jerry
and
Dobson? Oh, thank you. Chance, you're on it. Amazing co-host tonight.
Sure. Jerry Dobson, watching on Facebook Live, asks, mine were actually out of body experiences, not a dream, because when you wake up from a dream and you go out of your out of your daily business, or mine felt like someone had punched me in the back each time. By the
Oh.
time I would have the out of body experience, I would go back to my childhood home and see my dad. But the only thing he would say to me is, "What are you doing here? It's not your time yet."
Oh my
That sounds like
gosh.
a classic Twilight Zone
Holy
episode, but
crap.
real. Wow, what a cool
Wow.
experience. So I assume
Did
your
you
dad is
see
gone,
like a
obviously.
white light before that or something? Was there like a white light that people talk about it in a near death experience?
Have you guys
Good
watched the
question.
show that
Jerry,
Morgan Freeman has about the people that have had near death experiences or have actually died and like came back. It is fascinating. I forget what the series is called. Something about God or something, like finding God or something like that. But it's really profound. It's very, very deep.
Right.
I read that horribly, but you get the drift. He saw his dad.
I-
His dad told him it's not your time. That's the
Yep.
point.
Because usually people come to help cross you over. You know, that's typically what they say, that someone will be there to help you kind of transition.
Exactly.
So my friend, my new friend that I found on the feed down there, High Not to Laugh.
Mhm.
He's saying that
Oh,
he
are they in
was
the
thinking,
chat?
yeah, he's here.
Okay, I want to interrupt.
Or they're here. You're right, there, because there's two of them. I'm not sure which one's talking.
Jason and Craig, right? Okay. I want to interrupt. Hold on, guys. I am so sorry. Hi,
You're
Danny.
fine.
Cool.
Okay, hold on. I have to interrupt because I have to do this.
It's time for.
Time? Yeah, hold on. I'm getting there, Snarky. Mm.
Yay!
Hi, Not to Laugh. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us.
And thanks
We
for
would
being so
really,
interactive
really,
in our chat.
really-
We appreciate it.
Yeah, we would really, really, really love to include you in this community. So please join our community.
Yeah, we should have a no, we can't do that. I don't think. Not without.
Well-
Nope,
Read that comment.
I can't.
I have never had an out of body experience, and I had open heart surgery. I was kind of wondering if it would have happened, and if it did, I don't remember anything.
See, that's probably a possibility. I mean, you have to stay open to all the possibilities.
You know,
Right.
here's something for you. I have been legally dead 3 times in my life. One time for almost
This
2,
trucker Mac Daddy dude here.
yeah, and one time for almost 2 minutes. And I'm really disappointed. I remember no light, no other side, nothing happening. I don't even remember nothing. I don't remember even
Wow.
darkness, just nothing, no memory whatsoever. So if there is an afterlife and you can't go to the other side, as usual, I got screwed.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, but you've seen Bigfoot, so
Mhm.
Yeah. But that would be better to know what was on the other side, wouldn't it?
Well, maybe Bigfoot will help you cross over. I'm just kidding.
Hi, K
the
Moonin.
universe chose for you.
Pleasant dreams, K Moonin.
Actually, I saw a lot of weird stuff in my life. You know, my mom was a paranormal investigator, and when I was a kid,
Oh, I
she
didn't
would
know that.
she would actually take me on investigations with her to haunted houses when I was 8 years old and stuff, and
Mhm.
it was really an interesting youth.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm sure.
Actually, she was a photographer, but she was going on paranormal investigations trying to catch pictures of ghosts for magazines and stuff.
Interesting. That's very cool. Very
A
cool.
lot of her stuff was funded by Life magazine back in the late 60s,
Wow,
early
that's
70s.
impressive. Yeah.
And
She
then
must have
after
been
that,
some kind of like, I mean, she must have been pretty amazing.
well, she did a lot of photography. She was actually one of the few female photographers that actually went to Vietnam and took pictures
Wow.
during the war, you know.
Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah. But later on, I think it was 1974, she quit with all the traveling so much and took a
That's
job
scary, right?
with wrestling companies doing publicity shots and booklets and
Oh,
a
that's
lot
how
of
you got into it. Then.
wrestling stuff. Yeah. She did a lot of
Interesting. I love
like
he says
sports
wrestling.
like
I love
Wrestling
it.
Illustrated and stuff. There's this guy named Bill Apter. He did a wrestling magazine, and he kind of bought all her pictures and took credit for them.
Wow. Oh, you should share those sometime
Yeah.
soon. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have
I'll be
mountains.
right back, guys.
I would
I'll
love to see that.
Chance, are
Okay,
you there? Okay.
I'm
I'll
here.
be right back.
I got your back.
You guys,
Thanks.
I
Have
have
a
to
nice
go get
break.
food. I'm starving. So
No, my mom just needs me real quick to check.
Oh,
okay.
okay. I'll
Well,
cover. Bye, TD. Thanks for
Watch,
joining us.
no
watch, watch,
Bye,
problem.
TD.
Bye. I'll
watch
replay it.
it,
Tomorrow I'll be on Lobo's
Thank you
panel too.
so
I'm excited.
much.
So
I
bye.
know. I'll
Huge
see you
hug
tomorrow,
and nice
TD.
to meet you.
You too, Polly. Thanks for joining us for sure. And
We
bye,
love you,
Cousin
TD.
RJ. Love you too. And we miss my flock for sure. But I'll see you guys soon.
Absolutely.
Bye, Danny.
happy
Huge
trails.
hug. Bye
Bye.
bye.
You too. Bye, chat and replay crew. Bye. See you guys.
Jerry Dobson says, yes, both of my parents died in
I'm gonna
1982.
run get me another drink real quick, Chance. I'll be right back.
Okay, I'll just read some comments here. Jerry Dobson sadly said both of his parents died in 82. I don't know if that was an accident or what. I was just thinking about 1982 today because I went to the oh my gosh. I can't believe I'm forgetting. The World's Fair. The World's Fair in Knoxville, Tennessee in 1982. That's what it was. The World's Fair. They don't have those anymore. You guys remember the World's Fair? I'm not trying to go off topic. Can you hear me?
Yes, but no.
Oh, the World's Fair was great. All right. Well, I won't go on. We're talking about paranormal. Let me read some more comments here. Esmeralda saying goodbye to Kay Moonen. Sleep well. Now, Chrissy, who is tending to her mom right now, commented, I dreamed I was in an accident once and my mom caused it and I laid slowly suffering for days. Wow.
That's some issues that you was working out.
You know, and you can sometimes have premonition in dreams. You can see the future, and I believe
Part of what, yeah, that's part of the things I'm going to say on mine, I guess.
and deja vu. Deja vu could be a vision of
Yeah,
the future or an alternate lifeline.
yeah. I mean,
Why don't
and
you tell
somebody
your
would
story?
counter that with the scientists have done the stuff and they figured out what deja vus are. So nanny, nanny, boo boo. But here's what I'm saying. That could just be the mechanism or the thing, the mechanism, because our brains, okay, here I go. I pretty much believe and know that I know I don't know. Neither do y'all. Nobody knows why their life's great mystery. Why there's that in us about, oh, I saw a Sasquatch. Oh, that was an alien. Whatever it is,
Yeah.
It, humans are just made for this, We are curious and driven. You know,
Right.
it's a. So what else? What?
Well, we
This
only
is
tap
so
into
hard.
a small percentage of our brain's
Right?
capacity. If we could tap into
No,
more, can you
that's
imagine?
not true. That is scientifically proven not true. You use your whole brain, otherwise, why would it be there? But you only use bit. It goes from spot to spot. Okay, at a time right now in the very now of the now. While you're doing what you're doing, you're okay. Never mind. Get me off of here before I faint.
I think we might be able to have mind over matter if we tapped into 100%.
That's
We might.
yeah. We
We could move objects with our
Why would
minds.
we have so much DNA? Why? Why would we have so much DNA that we don't use? There's
And yeah, don't
yeah.
use and
I
don't
think
even
from
know
the
about it.
origination of the human, we'll say we have been damaged. We have been, as a species, almost completely eliminated many, many, many times. I mean, down to as low as 100, 1,000 people.
And that's just the
Way,
people that
way
eat
less,
Taco
way
Bell.
less than that, Snarky. Way less than that.
Just tiny. But here we are, all kabillions of us later, because of inbreeding, incest, and stuff. And that is one of the reasons why the religions will say, oh, that's just wrong. So that's in us. There is a physiological, like our body knows we're not supposed to do that shit too. That's why they do that, because when in times when there's only 100 people, everybody's reproducing no matter what.
Yeah.
So that's happening. And it becomes the way it is. And then somebody goes, "Whoa, look at the specimens we're getting," and they go, "Oh, God said let's not do that."
You're not supposed to have sex with a monkey. Yeah, I know. I mean, there
You
could
know,
be
but
species breeding for goodness sakes. It really
and stuff,
messes up the
right? The
food.
inbreeding, and mutations. That's what the whole evolution and it's everywhere. We live
But
underneath this sun that is absolutely corroding all of our DNA every second we're
And the
under it.
additives in our food. The additives in our food. Hey,
And
Peter,
then
go
yep,
ahead. Peter Sky
Right.
Parker.
yeah, the stuff we're doing to ourselves.
Yeah. Peter
Yeah.
Sky Parker says, have you ever had a dream that lasted days? I've had reoccurring dreams. Where I
I've
dream
had
and I return to that dream
continuations.
weeks or days or months later or years later. I'm like, oh, and the obvious one is you go to school with no clothes on. How many times have you had that dream?
I'm
no, Jeff,
56
I
years
have
old
not
and
had
I
that
still end
dream.
up back in high school because somebody made a clerical error and I got to go get that dang diploma.
Oh,
I hate that.
That was so
oh man.
What
Well,
is,
tell
what
us
is
about your
that when you feel
paranormal.
like you're pretending and everyone else is believing? Imposter syndrome. I think that might be me saying I don't quite believe I am what some people think I am. Maybe.
But have you seen a UFO in your life? Have you ever seen something you could not explain in the sky?
everybody
Channel
set you up, okay.
right out the back porch in this daggum house, so it's got to have been like maybe a year. It could have been 2 years ago. I've got brain damage, and that's part of the reason I'm. Hey, from now on, somebody has to talk to me the way Chance is doing, because then I can keep going. But
So what
that and
did
a
you
gummy.
see? Do you remember? Do
But
you remember the shape
where are
of
we
the
at?
craft?
Oh yeah, UFO. Yeah, I stepped out because I step out all the time. I made several videos on TikTok right in the back door. I'm sitting out there one day. I look, and there's you know off the clearance from the trees. Okay, and
Yeah.
perfect. I can tell that it was one, two, three, it's three or four. I don't exactly remember, and that's the other part of the brain damage. I don't remember a lot of stuff specifically, but um, I'm looking at them with my eyeballs, and each one of them is it's like just kind of I don't know how big it was because you can't. There was no way to tell how far away or what was going on. But it was one,
Yeah.
then another one, then another one, and they did get smaller, so I could tell they were further away. I don't know how big it was, but it was mostly just a shine, right? So like a roundish shape, lots of shine, white shine, and then a rainbow nest. Like in the shine, like iridescence or
Oh,
opalescence.
wow.
Like there was rainbowy, and so I was like, I'm a YouTuber, TikToker. Whoop, here's the phone. No, no, no. I take the video, and I'm just like going, oh my God, y'all, it was a UFO. I get the video, and you can't
Do
see the
you
rainbow.
recall? Do
You
you
can
recall
barely.
getting a kind of message or changing the temperature around you? Everything
No,
going
no, it did
quiet?
not feel any kind of supernatural. It did not. I mean, I can't even say it felt like a UFO. I didn't know what it was. So
Yeah.
technically, it was a UFO. It was an
Yeah.
unidentified flying object, all three of them. But it's possible it could have been, I mean, more than likely Occam's razor. It was a weather thing. Not too far from an air base. It's actually in the other direction. But, you know, there's things it could have been. So it wasn't just outrageous. Nothing was just like hovering. Now, when I first started doing live streams, I don't know, a little way into it, every time I'd be up on panel, a UFO would start going wah 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 wah. You can only hear it. That's a joke. I'm just teasing. I had something was weird with the microphone on that phone, and it would always sound like a UFO was trying to get me, and I would be like going, oh, it was just, it's a joke. If you know, you know. Kick kick.
Uh,
Anyway, yeah. I used to stand at the end of my driveway as a child. I mean, from 7 on, stand at the end of my driveway as late at night as they'd let me because I loved looking at the stars. And I was all as soon as I could read, I was
What
reading
about
everything,
this
and I
place?
was
Just
Hmm?
get
Well,
driveway. There you
all I heard was.
go. I'm sorry. I was just thinking out loud.
Well, I was going to ask Snarky, have you ever seen a living ghost before?
A living ghost? That sounds
Ghost?
like an oxymoron.
It is
Or
one.
just a
Ghosts
ghost?
aren't living, dude. They're dead. They're ghosts.
They're dead.
Right. I
I
was.
see dead people. Like that movie guy.
I've had
That's
lots and
one
lots
Space
of
1999. I'm being
spiritual
serious.
based supernatural kind of things happen. That could
Seriously,
have
before we go.
totally all just been in my head, or some crazy stuff just happened. You know? I don't know. I can't tell some of it. I can't remember some of it. Yeah, I did see a crazy thing. Growing up there was a hallway straight away from the living room, right in the chair where we sit, right? So like you could look and you saw straight down the hallway. And one day, there right down about halfway down the hallway, there was a set of legs, like Beetlejuice no top. You know what I mean? There was a set of legs in like men's pants, and they I went, you know, and it walked and it turned and it went into my mom's room. And if you know me, you also know I'm stupid brave. And so I was like, whoa, dude, what is that? And I'm going down the hall. I step into my mom's room and I look at her bed.
Oh my
And
god.
Mm.
in there, with her
That's
leg crossed,
scary.
and the top half of it was sitting over there. Beetlejuice had not been made yet. It was not a thing. It wasn't in my head. But the other half of the person, I'm having trouble now remembering what sex they were or anything. The memories getting, all my memories are probably. I'm probably gonna be one of them ladies. Somebody comes, Mildred, do you want to play checkers? No, I don't remember how. y'all just keep an eye on me and love me no matter what, okay? Anyway, but But yeah, like it was just so there was the top half was sitting up by the with a pillow, and at that point, because anyway, at that point I was just like scared shitless, and
Syphilis.
I don't really remember what happened afterwards. I probably ran the fuck out of there screaming for my sister or
Oh,
my mom or something, you know?
beep. You got the beep
Yeah.
out of there.
Did I beat?
You dropped an F bomb. It's okay. You can't help it.
Sorry, I really do try. I really try. I name my stream. I'm trying not to cuss.
You're the sweetest.
Your audio is breaking up, so you couldn't hear it that clearly. Now you sound better.
But
When you move
I said I
around,
name my stream. I'm trying not to cuss
that's right. Well,
every
your people
single
expect,
Saturday.
but your people expect and demand you to cuss, so I know it's tough, right?
They're down there taunting me sometimes.
And we're
Manny was down there a
simul-screaming.
minute ago. He's like, trying not to cuss, huh?
Ah,
I love my precious little weirdos.
Honestly, I consider it like a constant contest between Snarky, Chance, and me on who's going to say the most messed up stuff.
that's true. I've already said several
By
things to
far,
make
Chance,
people wrong.
you're winning.
Yeah, I know. I really I regret. Keebler says I've seen both my stepmom and grandma standing in my trailer talking to me. I was asleep, but I woke up immediately and they were still there for a couple of minutes.
I saw a
Yeah,
split.
like when my stepmom and my mom both went. I mean, they didn't die close to each other, but they were both gone. And really, I just now had a flash. I think I did this with some of my grandparents too. I would just, I felt like they haunted me. And when I was awake, they weren't floating, on above my bed or anything. But every time I go to sleep, it seemed like, or a lot of times I'd have these dreams that were just so weirdly real. And there they were. And whatever happened in whatever situation. I mean, there's so many. There's no even point even trying to tell one of them, because that's not really the part that matters. I know that your brain's doing a lot when you're grieving, you know?
Yeah.
And as time went on, I hardly ever, now I still will once in a while. Everybody seems to still pop up once in a while, but hardly ever really compared to how much it used to happen. When I was younger, the, I could have convinced myself of all kind of stuff at that point. Like Manny, I think it was Manny that said earlier that he swears it feels like maybe he is really dreaming the future or dreaming or he really, because he'll dream of someplace he's never been, and then he'll be
Right.
somewhere and go, holy crap, this is where I was, you know, in that dream.
Yeah.
Wow.
That
Esmeralda,
kind of stuff. Yeah, that I have had prophetic dream. And if it could happen, I probably had most of it. And I just go, I know I don't know. And neither do you.
I like
The
that laugh.
human brain is
You need to do some
so
cartoon.
complicated.
You need to get an agent and do some cartoon voiceover work. I love that laugh.
I've been working on trying my vocal cords since I had vocal cord damage. And so I've been like trying to work on it to where I could start doing some voices and stuff again. I used to be doing it all the time, but I don't hardly ever break one out now because sometimes, I mean, it just,
Professionally or just for fun?
no, dude, I do everything for free. I live for y'all to love and laugh. I love it. I love it.
We had a question. It went away. Where did it go?
Sorry, Christy.
BBB's mom okay?
No, BBB took over her own channel, and I lost my
I
play.
brought it back up, Chance.
Okay. Well, it's a comment. A ghost
Okay.
cannot hurt you unless you allow yourself to become afraid, says Esmeralda
That's
in
cool.
Washington State.
You never saw Poltergeist?
Oh, that came up on
Boy, I
BK
watched
show and
all of
BK on
them.
the air today.
A
They
ghost,
use real cadavers in the pool scene. Did you know
a
that?
ghost
In the pool?
mess you up, whether you believe in it or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't
I
have
don't
to
believe
believe.
in Bigfoot,
You
but
broke
he
up.
believes
What did
in you.
Hey, I
I
saw
couldn't hear
Bigfoot.
you, Danny. You broke up. What'd you say?
We gotta bring Danny up.
Please.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
need
Yeah.
Snarky, you're still there. I got you on the side, babe. You're still there.
yes, okay, it's my turn, right?
It's your
Yes.
turn, Danny.
Yeah.
Everyone give Danny a round of applause.
So I'm gonna do y'all something I don't never do. Hardly ever.
Go.
Hi, Danny.
So I'm sitting here at the show, and it wasn't what I was expecting because I was kind of expecting from the text I got that we were going to be talking about urban legends. You know, the stuff that's not necessarily real. You know,
Okay.
like the old urban legend here in South Carolina, when you hear the whippoorwill, and
Yeah.
that means that somebody's going to die. You don't want to hear a
Cool.
whippoorwill. It's a
Is
bad
that?
omen.
Can I ask you? Is that the in the John Anderson song?
As a matter of fact,
The wind blow like it's never gonna blow again. And he talks about the whippoorwill.
yeah, well, there's an old legend with the old people, you know, the real old people, that you don't want to hear the whippoorwill. So when you do, somebody's going to die. And in my life, I've heard whippoorwills 4, maybe 5 times. And on a couple of them occasions, somebody did pass away. So there you go. But whether it's real or not, I'm not going to say. It's an old wise tale, like throwing your salt over your shoulder to keep the evil spirits off your back. You know, there's thousands of urban legends out there. I heard her talking about the chatting something in a mirror. Like, I always say Candyman, but it's something else.
But yeah, Candyman and Bloody Mary.
Bloody Mary's the real one.
Yeah.
Candyman's the Hollywood one.
Yeah, exactly. But it's the
You
same
know,
concept.
anybody that believes Candyman's real, it's a movie made up thing. It's based on Bloody Mary thing.
It's based on Bloody Mary. Yeah, absolutely. I
But once
agree.
again, you're talking urban legends.
Yes.
And then everybody started out, and it's all been kind of like their true life experiences with UFOs and their true life experiences with ghosts and stuff. And
Right.
it kind of just give me a brain stroke, you know.
Yeah.
I was going to talk about urban legends, but y'all
Go
talking
ahead.
about y'all was talking about some real shit. I mean, real
We're
stuff.
talking about real stuff. We're talking
Real
about real stuff, Danny.
Yeah, and it just kind of give me a flashback and a story I don't normally tell, but I've told it on a
Okay.
couple of live streams, and I thought I'd tell it on this one. And I'm going to tell this story, and then I'm going to shut up. But my story goes back to when I was a kid. Like I said earlier, my mom was a photographer, right? And like a little kid, want to be like your mom because she takes pictures. I got me the famous C110 camera that was talked about earlier with the built-in flash. Not the cheap one, not the cheap one, not the cheap one you had to use outside. They got me the good one that cost like a few extra dollars with the old built-in flash. Remember the built-in flash? Every time you took a picture, it flashed whether you wanted it to or not because you couldn't cut it off.
Danny, can I tell you one quick thing? I'll do this in the podcast. You said built-in flash. I got to quickly tell this. I was the stock boy at Big B drugstore, and there was a blooper. I was a stock boy, and I would put the little weekly sale, little like squares on the products that were on sale. And there was a mess up, and it said Big B brand panty liners with built-in flash.
And now that's actually a thing.
Flash on the camera, but they put it on the panty line. And I got on the Jay Leno show with that. They would do not headlines. I think it was headlines, not headlines, but they did a segment. I think it was headlines.
When they'd be article titles and whatnot.
Or there would be misprinted things, and I got on the air, and it made Jade Leno crack up. I'm going to put that on the Pod Blast. I have that on video. I need to transfer that digital. I'll put it on the next Pod Blast Friday night. Anyway, but it was funny. Big B brand panty liners, which are maxi pads with built-in flash. Okay, continue.
Built-in
Never
flash.
heard that one.
You down there taunting me, trying to get me to cuss.
Yeah, no,
You're on my
Peter, we
side.
don't cuss. Peter, we don't
I was
cuss
trying
on
earlier.
here.
I was trying earlier to get her to cuss when she's talking about the kites.
Yeah,
I said,
I saw
I
you
said,
trying to
for you
poke,
to do.
poke
I
Snarky
couldn't
to get
even
her
get
to
a
go.
rise out of her tonight. She's on fire.
Yeah, I know. I saw you trying to poke Snarky and get her going.
Snarky.
Pull something.
Heck is,
I
I'm not even
Sasquatch.
snarky tonight. I'm a Sasquatch.
You're a
I'm
Sasquatch.
watching you.
We've been getting along. We've been getting along really good ever since we joined.
I think we figured it out.
We had to
I'm
step
glad.
on flat earthers.
I'm so glad because, like, you two are amazing, and you should just, get along.
Apparently, we're probably related, more than likely.
Yeah, and that's why y'all both the same way.
Oh God! Don't say.
It's
I don't know
a
if I was complimented or insulted just now. I got to think
All right,
about that
so
for a little bit.
let's
You
hear
know, you just
Danny's
don't want to
story.
say.
Let's hear Danny's story. I'm waiting.
Okay.
And Chance just looks so cute with that wig on. Like, it's
I don't know.
adorable.
Chance broke my concentration with his wig. But
I know, right? Okay.
it looks
Go
like
ahead,
Paul
Danny. We're
Stanley.
listening. I'm going to mute up so that you could speak.
Well, anyway, like I said, I got the famous C110 camera in 1976. And I was like really cool with it. It was at Christmas and it just turned 76. I took a lot of pictures. I decided I was going to be a nature photographer. All my family had always been hunters. And I got where I wanted to take a picture of an animal like a squirrel or a rabbit or a whatever animal I come across on my daily hikes through the woods. I'd take a picture, With my little cheap 110 camera, they didn't come out too good most of the time. I wasn't old enough for the
That was crappy film.
lens and all that good stuff at that time. I was only 11 years old. And to me, going hiking in the woods and taking pictures of animals by myself was a big thing. Back then, I wasn't allowed to take guns unless my grandpa or my dad was with me because I was only 11.
Safety rule.
But a lot of kids my age at 11 were taking their shotgun and going hunting because I live in South Carolina. It wasn't an odd thing for young people to have guns back then. But I never will forget this day. It was the July 4th week of 1976. And I started out early that morning and went on like a 5-mile hike deep into the woods. I mean, real deep. Even though I was on the outskirts of town, I was skirting around the outskirts of town on a hiking trail.
Right.
And I got off the trail and I went down through the creek. And as I went down through the creek, I found some really cool deer tracks. And I thought, well, I'm going to track these deers down and get some pictures of the deers, right? So I was creeping down through the creek bed with my little camera, going to take pictures of the deer or the squirrels or whatever I saw. And as I come to this clearing where the creek had a big bank you could walk up on, I stepped up on the bank to kind of get away from the water a little bit. My feet were getting wet. And as I stepped up on the bank, there was this hill that went straight up. And between me and the top of the hill, there was these things called brambles. I don't know if you know what a bramble is. Does anybody know what a bramble is? I bet Snarky knows. It's a bush that has these great big giant thorns on them and little teeny ugly flowers. Little yellow and black ugly flowers with gigantinormous thorns. And there was these bramble bushes all up this hill. You really couldn't get through there. It was like 50 yards of barbed wire. And
Wow.
as I got to the top of the bank of the creek and looked up the hill, I saw what I thought at the corner of my eye was a bear. And I said, oh boy, I'm going to get a picture of a bear. So I got my camera ready. And as I looked up and started to bring the camera up, I was like, I can't say that on here, but anybody knows what WTF means. And that was exactly what my young ass said. I said, what is this? And as I looked, I saw this large, hairy.
Watch it. Watch it.
How to explain what I was seeing would be, if you watch the old movies and saw the way they did up cavemen or Neanderthals, kind of cover it with hair. You ever seen Quest for Fire? This low brow,
Monterey
flat
Chong, yeah, Chong's dog.
it's low brow, flat nose look, kind of Aborigines in the face, but completely covered in hair, like a giant, massive gorilla with a kind of semi-human face, looking down the hill at me. And for a minute, I just looked up at it, and I could tell, I really could, that because it was way up on the hill and looking out over the area, and I was down in the hollow on that creek bed, this thing couldn't see me. I could see it, but it couldn't see me.
Wow.
And I was at like a 55 to 60 degree angle looking up. So I could just see its face. I couldn't tell you the shape of its head. I couldn't tell you from the waist down on kind of the brambles what it looked like. I was only seeing from the waist up, its arms and its face. I'm pretty sure it was male. But as I thought back over the years with the large protruding breast area, it could have been a female. But it was short, fur-looking hair like you'd see on a short dog hair, kind of fur. It did not look like the hair you hear about. It looked like fur. And this thing was just standing there looking. And I looked up, and my dumb ass held the camera up and snapped the picture. And when I did, the flash went off. And it just dropped its head and looked straight at me. It made this awful growly noise like, "Brrr." When it did, I'm not ashamed to say it, even though I slightly am. I did piss myself. I urinated because I was 11 years old and it scared me worse than anything that ever scared me in my life. At my 11-year-old young age, I was looking up the hill and seeing a real monster. To me, at that age, Bigfoot was something you saw on Saturday morning with Bigfoot and Wild Boy. Bigfoot was a movie monster you saw in a theater. It wasn't real. It was like Frankenstein, the Wolfman, or Dracula. It was a movie monster. It was not real, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yes, sir.
At that young age, I had not seen In Search Of. I had not seen the shows that talk about this being a real creature. That come out a year later. But at that time, I had not seen them shows. And to me, I was seeing a monster. So I turned and I ran. I ran as fast as I could. And as I ran, I knew that there was a field of brambles between me and it. It would hurt itself trying to get through them brambles. So I run down the creek bed back towards the highway and the road. It was a long ways to that road. But I made it to the road and I could hear it growling and grunting. And at one point I stopped on the road when I finally made it to catch my breath and look back. And just as I looked back, I saw trees, big trees getting snapped and brought to the ground. And then I run home and cried and told everybody about it. And people thought I was a crazy kid, except for my grandpa. Now, to take note that my grandpa was the chief of police of the town. And he had reports of this before. He believed me and told me it was a real thing and went back with guns with me. And the place where I'd seen the thing, we found large human-like footprints. And there was an actual police report filed even in 1976. So this is a documented case of my sighting by police at the time. But there was a year of torture I went through at school when I told people about it because the kids thought I was crazy. And they teased me and they made jokes and made fun of me, and it was really uncomfortable. But the one thing I will say is it's like a year later, In Search Of come out. Leonard Nimoy talked about it. Everybody liked Leonard Nimoy. Everybody loved Mr. Spock. And people come up and told me they were sorry. They didn't know it was real and blah, blah, blah. So there was a certain comeback of happiness when it did come out that this was a real thing.
Satisfaction. Yeah.
But that's what happened to me when I was a young person.
Wow,
I'm
what a
sorry they were
story.
mean to you, Danny. Bullies suck.
I love that story,
But
Danny.
Amazing.
it changed my life forever because I knew monsters was real at a really young age.
Right.
And it might have been a female, like you said.
Yeah, I had a big breastplate.
Well, like I said, I couldn't see from the waist down, and over the years I thought about it, and it did seem that it was really enlarged in the breast. And you know, I went in the woods, I hunted, I did stuff for 40 years in the woods, and it was only like 4 years ago that I was in the woods and saw something else similar to that, and I saw this. But what I saw the second time, 40 years later, would look more like a Chewbacca from Star Wars. It was all covered in long furry hair and running through the woods, and I don't know what the heck that thing was. I don't know.
But didn't even come
I
close
don't know
to
if it
scaring
was a
you like you
Bigfoot.
did when you were a boy.
I don't know if it was a Bigfoot or something else. I didn't see its face. I only saw it from the rear, but I did get a good look at its ass and its junk. It was definitely male. It was no doubt it
You
was a
saw
male.
Sass's ass?
It's Joe's fault. I'm not going to go into that. But
You saw
the first thing I did when I saw it was look and check out his junk to see if it was a man or a woman.
I would have run.
Yeah. That's why he was looking.
This is years later when I had a YouTube channel. I didn't run. I took my gun out, held a camera in one hand, and chased the damn thing through the woods on video.
Wow.
You can see it on my YouTube channel, the Daddy Damn Blog. My dumb ass chasing Bigfoot through the woods, trying to get him on video.
That's a great story.
Wow.
Thank you for sharing.
Wow, story.
But
Thank you so much for sharing.
Everything I've done, paranormal wise, and investigative wise, over the last 4 years, I put on YouTube. And there's been cases where I've saw stuff I think was a demon. I've caught it on video. It's on YouTube. I went on an investigation where somebody said they saw a dog man, and I saw this god awful thing that looked like the werewolf from American Werewolf in London, like a big mutant wolf. And I got it on video, and it's on YouTube under the Palmetto Dogman videos. You can see that. I was doing a video about a mill they were shutting down. Nothing to do with cryptids whatsoever. And I'm like, this old mill, they're going to renovate it and turn it into apartments and whatever. It was just a mill video about an old mill. And I got home, I put it up on YouTube, and 30 minutes after I put it up, somebody emailed me, "What was that thing in your video?"
Where are you?
I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And they told me what to look for and stuff, and I went back and looked, and there's this, I don't know what the heck it is, sitting on the wall, looks like a gargoyle. And right when I put the camera up and talking about the mill, it runs across the freaking wall. And that video's up on YouTube. So anything I talk about, 90%, there's a video up on YouTube to back it up. You know, I don't just talk
Sharky
about.
wants to see the Joan Jett video.
I got pictures. I got stills of me and her backstage. I got stills of us in the limo, and I've got stills of us at the restaurant. But I don't know what happened to the pictures from the hotel room. I've been looking for them because I really want them. But I do got evidence. I was my mom was a photographer, and we took pictures of everything.
Well,
It's
you
just,
had
Of
all
course
those
you've got
pictures.
photos.
Are you saying you had your way with Joan Jett on the record?
I've got 10,000 books full of photos I'll show on YouTube, and I constantly show my pictures. It's just I got so many, it's hard to go through them all and find certain photos. I'm still looking for the Christmas party of the year 2000 where a whole bunch of wrestlers was at my house for Christmas. I want to show it on my wrestling channel, but I hadn't been able to find them pictures yet. And
that's the urban legend of the night right here. Did Danny have his way with Joan Jett? Urban legend, truth
He
or fact?
said that back when we were doing the classic rock.
Right.
Yeah, I went out with Joan Jett one time.
In the 80s in her prime. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with her non-prime, but I mean,
me and her and
No, she's holding up better than any of us.
Hey, she's still alive. We can ask her about it if we get her on. But
I mean, the height of
her
her career.
and 4 members of her band spent the night in a motel room, you know, in Spartanburg, South Carolina. And I loved it so much, I stole the key from the hotel. I still got it too.
Wow. By the way, it's 6:30 a.m. in Ms. Rotterman's neck of the woods, is it not?
Right. Yeah.
Polly's coming into daylight.
Huh?
Polly's coming into daylight.
Once again, 90% of anything I bring up, I usually got some kind of photo evidence or something to back it up. I don't usually.
And he died 2 days later and came back.
One time you talk about a ghost, I haven't got the picture. My mom took the picture, but I haven't got the picture. I don't know where it is or who's got it. But my mom
I tease you hard, but yeah.
We saw an apparition when I was a kid. You know, we was on a ghost hunt thing that we did, and we was at this old house that used to be this 2-story house that used to be a mortuary. And as we were in the downstairs parlor area, there was this what to look like to me a lady in a red dress coming down the steps. And my mom snapped the pictures, and when she got to the bottom of the steps, she was just gone. And me and my mom and the real estate person that was taking us on the tour all saw it. And then it was gone. And my mom actually has a really cool picture of this half human, you can see right through it thing coming down the steps. But when she passed away, I haven't been able to get through all. I inherited 90% of her pictures, and my sister got the rest of them. And I don't know which ones I got and which ones my sister got. And we're still trying to get all this stuff sorted out. And I think my sister has my Christmas wrestling pictures, and I'm really ill about that.
Go get them. Do a swap. Like, I'll give you these for those. Like, you got to go get them. You just got to.
Maybe she'll watch this and give them up, but we'll see. But like I said, I'm going to I have put a bunch of my pictures on YouTube before. And as a matter of fact, when I was on with Chance on a live stream once, if he remembers, I was showing tons of autographed pictures and stuff.
I love that.
I remember you had the one of the wrestler that you showed on my channel, like you and it was a blonde guy, like, and then you showed.
That's Boogeyman Jimmy Valiant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know him real well. My mom ran his fan club for like 8 years. I've got the big book of Valiant, with 200 autographed pictures in it, and all the newsletters from his first fan club, and everything to do with Jimmy Valiant. I have it. If you know a collector out there with lots of money, tell them to give me a call.
We know Danny Staten.
Yeah.
Definitely, Danny. Is there anything else that you want to contribute to tonight's conversation? Like, do you have any other stories or?
Like I said, if we could do a 2-hour special on just the stories I could tell, I haven't even went into the stories of the lizard man of skateboard swamp in South Carolina. We've got our own lizard man. Have you ever heard of the lizard man?
Mm.
I know somebody
Snarky,
has heard of the
have
lizard
you
man.
heard of it?
Have you not
Huh?
heard
Snark,
of the
have you heard of
I've
it?
heard of the lizard man of South Carolina?
No, I don't know. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Hey guys, we have a special guest. Welcome, Mike Harper.
His tech isn't working.
Oh.
Okay, but he might connect. It says he's connected, so we'll see. So we'll just
All I
keep
see
an
is a
eye on him.
circle going.
Yeah, that's what I see too. But let me take him backstage till I see movement.
Ow. Ooh.
That sounds really bad.
Not anything.
Whoopsie.
Wow.
It's the third time it's happened so far during this stream.
I know, right?
Hey, Michael Harper.
Greetings, Harper.
Is
I
that
found
where
my-
Peter's? Oh, that's funny.
I found my videotape from Jay Leno. I'm going to convert it and put it on my YouTube channel.
We'll be
Headline.
looking forward to seeing that.
March 6, 1995.
Spinning.
Wow.
Oh, I see him. Haha. There
Hey,
he
Michael
is.
Harper.
Mike Harper made it. What's up,
He can be
Mike
next
Harper?
about his ongoing battle with the horribles of the world. You know, he's a troll player.
He's a what?
He's a troll slayer. Well, he takes down
Troll
trolls.
Slayer?
Snarky
Troll
likes to
slayer.
be in
Did you see the
control.
movie?
Snarky, don't you get on the bad side of Snarky. She's
Yeah.
No, I just am wondering, what does that mean? What do you
Harper's
mean?
okay. He thinks the Earth's round.
okay. So, Mike Harper, are you ready to go?
Okay, I guess it's game over for me, dude. Take over, Harper.
No, it's not, Dan. Let's go back to the status we were. Go ahead, Dan. Mike Harper's
think
about.
So
Go ahead.
Oh,
I think
Harper.
so.
Well, anyway, I'll finish off with the lizard man of skateboard swamp. And in the
You're
Oh,
19
yeah.
in the 1970s, there was lots of reports come out of skateboard swamp down near the coast in South Carolina of a large reptile lizard creature with the head of an alligator and the body
I
of
think so.
a rat. Definitely attacked cars, attacked people. It went after a black guy changing a tire, and he barely escaped with his life. And to this day, there are reports of a large green reptile creature running loose in South Carolina, menacing people and attacking chickens. And it's called the Lizard Man. And you should check it out. There's actually songs written about it.
Oh, yeah.
Don't send him to
There'd have to be.
California. We got so many wild chickens around my town. Don't send him to
Yeah,
California.
we still got that scheduled.
Yeah, we do. We're going to show
Christy,
all
is
the
that fire
wild.
put out by now?
Lizards love chickens. What happened to Harper?
He booped. Boop. All I heard is
He
boop.
was beamed.
I heard.
There's still a space down there. We didn't adjust.
I know.
Don't we adjust?
We're saving
Normally-
his spot for him in case
No,
he
we probably don't adjust. Okay. All right.
Normally we adjust, Snark.
Do you think?
Sasquatch. Yeah.
Now I
normally
have
we
no
adjust.
idea because I don't remember 3 seconds ago. Never do.
3 seconds ago.
Sasquatch.
Christy, are the fires out by now in your neighborhood?
Actually, we had thunder and lightning today, and rain, and
Rain.
And that put it out.
but thunder and lightning.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
but rain.
Did lightning start another fire?
That's what I'm looking for. Is I was just like trying to find on my phone
Crazy.
if any more new fires started with the lightning. But yeah, so far right now the sky is still hazy from all the smoke. I think it's now went from the 5th to the 4th largest fire in the state of California. I do have a friend of mine. I'd like to give a minute of silence for who lost her 16-year-old son who burnt in the fire.
Oh
So
my
she was
God.
at work and he couldn't get out. So I would like to pay a moment to him. That if y'all don't mind, take a moment of silence. Okay. So yeah,
You see how hard that was for Chance? He had to put both hands over his mouth.
I know, right? It is
Oh my
hard.
God.
So she came home from work and found that she'd lost everything. And she's a nurse, so she was at the hospital, and so she was safe. But Yeah.
Mm.
Yes, yes, Jeff. Today's weather was crazy. Jeff, I sent you a link if you'd like to come up and you'd like to tell your story. I sent you a link. I don't know if Jeff will. You is Jeff. He works with me. He is a coworker of mine. He sees me on a daily basis. He still likes me. Wow.
Somebody delivered a Shelley Long the other day. It has nothing to do with the topic, but I think it's interesting. Mad Cat 61207 YouTube
Yeah, that's my buddy Mad Cat.
says I delivered Shelley Long the other day. It was
Welcome,
Shelley Long's
Mad
birthday
Cat.
the other day. She had
Yeah,
a
it was,
birthday.
wasn't it?
She turned 75, I think, or 73. Let me look that up.
So Mad Cat.
She's one of those people that quit a hit show to do movies, and it was a bad move, like David Caruso leaving NYPD Blue. But I digress. She never
I
should
think
have
it's
quit.
because she's peach faced. If she wasn't peach faced, she would have been all right. But she's just peach faced.
75. I was right. You're right. You're right, Snarky. She's born August 23rd, 1949. 75 years of age. Wow. Let's see where she was born. In Fort Wayne, Indiana. Wow. Midwest girl. Okay. That's all.
Lady in red.
He's dancing with you. Cheek to
And
cheek.
lady in red. Yeah.
I think you can put us all on people.
He don't know if it was Shelley Long.
Good movie. No, that was Kelly LeBrock. Lady in Red's Kelly LeBrock. That was before Weird Science with Gene Wilder, and it showed
Weird Science.
hoo-hoo in the scene with they replicated the scene with Marilyn
what,
Monroe on the grate, and she was wearing.
Where's Sarah's My Flock is everywhere. Hoo-hoo.
Sarah Al.
Yeah. Hoo-hoo.
Being a teenager, seeing that on cable was something. All right. Kelly LeBrock was very attractive. I love Weird Science. You ever see that movie, Weird Science?
Weird Science.
And it pour some water on me or something.
Some cold water.
Don't let him get under me. There's no telling what I do to him.
Hoo-hoo. I love it.
Yeah, chocolate drink, chocolate water. Michael Harper's having a devil of a time connecting. He's trying.
Yeah, I see. You can see it too, huh, Chance?
Yeah. I'm your co-host now.
Yeah,
you
I know.
Tonight, I thought so. I'm already demoted. Next week, I'm not your co-host.
No. You are a co-host on the channel, so I have 4 now. You
Nice.
and me and Sarah, and one
Nice.
surprise one that will be
Mike-
coming up later. Ah, there he is.
I brought him up. Oh, I thought I brought him
Oh,
up.
we're fighting over buttons.
I bring him up, and when I click it, then you bring him up. Hey, Michael. What part of the world are you in, Michael?
Make Harper big.
Michael.
Virginia.
Virginia. Oh, he's in the USA.
Yeah. Virginia.
Welcome, Mike Harper. Welcome.
Yeah. You have to get Harper's going to be a little shy. He's used to wrestling streams where there's not no females. This might be the first stream he's ever been on with girls.
Girls, shut off your cameras.
Having trouble. Said I had trouble with the internet.
Yeah, it happens. It sucks when it happens. Are you having storms in Virginia right now?
Yeah, it does.
Are you having
No,
bad weather?
it's pretty clear.
Oh.
No, it's pretty clear.
So what's your story? What's your Chrissy, ask him a question.
Sure.
If you don't mind.
Asking the first question is why he's not on his laptop and why he's on his phone.
Because there's pretty girls on panel and he wants them up close and personal, Danny.
That sounds like something Mox would say.
That's why we're shutting off our
You just
cameras.
got trolled by the host, Harper. That's bad.
He is kind of cute.
Aw, snarky. Mid-sized Sasquatch. Back myself. Okay, so which unsolved mystery fascinates you the most and why? Do 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 do.
Great.
It takes him forever to get up here, and then he gets up here and he gets the shy mode. I mean,
They
what's going on
giggle.
here?
Bad part is
Lots of giggles.
it's like Mr. Clean and Mr. Perfect. He don't
I don't
smoke.
know.
He don't do nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Giggles.
Come on, Mike, let's go.
I don't. I don't really have one that I know.
Have
What-
you
what-
had like
nothing
some weird experiences while growing up?
I just. I mean, I don't mind listening to everybody else talk, but I don't really have one.
He's
He just
saying he
came
don't
up.
have one. He don't have one he could tell on a family show.
So he just came up to be close to us girls.
He looks disappointed that PD left.
I'm being so good.
You are.
You are
Big
Starkey. You
I
can't
time.
make
am. I
No.
deserve a cookie.
You deserve a whole
Michael,
box.
you got a cookie?
Oh
If
God.
you're gonna kick anybody, you kick Harper. He's
All right,
dead.
I lost it.
Moving,
You
Snarky.
can have the kudos back. I'll shut up.
I can.
I just Snarky, I
No,
moved you right next to Mike.
I definitely can tell that I have not had an experience.
Give him the 20 question list. Harper, have you ever saw a UFO?
I've never had. No, never saw a UFO.
You never looked in the
Wouldn't
sky
be-
and saw a light. You
Would be
didn't know what.
interesting to see one.
Everybody's looked in the sky.
I
and
will
saw a
send
light.
you my sightings. I will send you my sightings.
Okay, I have a question. So, Mike, you've never seen a UFO.
I mean,
Have you ever seen like an over
I've
hairy
maybe seen
creature in
one
the woods?
meteor, but that's it.
Do you believe in the Loch Ness monster?
Yeah, champ.
Bigfoot.
Right.
Have you
Okay.
ever given this stuff much thought?
Not until right now.
No.
Putting him on the
Really?
spot.
Yeah.
Well, what do you?
He's Johnny on
Wow.
the spot right now. Johnny on the spot.
Well, I mean, it just seems like all over the media you hear about all the different whatevers and hootenannies and whatnot.
Hootenannies
The
and
I mean,
hoo-hoos. What's going on?
I hate them damn
Hootenannies and
hootenannies.
hoo-hoos.
Ugh, that's the worst one of the bunch.
Hootenannies and hoo-hoos. We're going to be hostess pretty soon with the ding dongs.
Well, what do you hope? Out of all the
Yeah, I
things,
guess I do
Michael,
believe in
which
them.
one do you hope
It's-
is real?
Not really.
You don't hope none of them's real?
I mean, a lot of people.
Uh,
I mean, I hope Bigfoot doesn't come into my room and eat me alive.
Well,
you saw the wrong movies. There's too many jokes in our stuff. You don't do it.
wholesome channel, Jesus Christ.
Oh, I'm laughing so
I
hard.
mean, I hope that Bigfoot doesn't come into my room and eat me alive.
You stated that already.
Maybe did you hear like some paranormal story from your family, grandparents? Sometimes we hear from them stories. No.
Okay. So
If somebody comes up with an anal probe story, I'm
Had an
are you talking about like in the military or are you talking about like in real life?
Yeah, I'm laughing. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to just play with the buttons for a second.
that was nice of her to give Harper a break.
Thank you, Peter.
No, never. I've never heard a paranormal story from my.
Okay. Well, I'm going to. Can you guys hear me?
Help me with something.
All of a sudden
Oh,
lost audio. Okay. Can
We
you
hear
guys
you.
hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay, because this I want
yeah.
to just I have many stories, but I want to just say that there are
Okay,
a
I'll be
few
in there.
things.
I'll be in there in a second.
There are a few things
I gotta
that
turn
have
my camera off for a second. My mom needs
okay,
me.
okay,
Okay.
I get that.
He's
I
such a
understand that.
good boy.
I understand that. I take care of my mom too, so I get that.
He's a good boy.
Danny, be nice to your friend. If it was wrestling, he'd have all kinds of things to say.
If it was rock and roll, he'd have all kinds of stuff to say. If it was movies, he'd have all kinds of stuff to say. But you bring him on the one night we're talking paranormal encrypted, the one thing that he literally knows nothing about. We've had this
You've
conversation
not
with him
seen a
before.
movie about a paranormal cryptid?
He probably don't watch horror movies because they probably scare him.
Oh, I see an airplane reference. Rome 13 in chat says, "Stewardess, I speak
I think he
jive."
just
Talking about
froze.
Billy.
I think, bless his heart.
Huh?
I
It's not that easy for him to get up here, people.
no, it's not.
So
It
it's
really
not.
isn't. The first
And
time I
not
did it,
everybody's wired that way.
I had a puke
All
bucket
right.
at my feet the first time I went live. I literally almost puked in front of the world on YouTube. Like if you ever watched
Yeah.
my first live stream, I was sick.
Oh my
Like,
god.
but yeah, okay. So
All right. All right.
yes, Peter. Yes,
Man,
Peter. We are a fun group and we've all found each other and life has brought us together for a reason. We're
the
family.
universe got a crazy sense of humor.
That's right. But we all love each other and we all come
Yeah.
together and we do this on Saturdays because we support each other. And
And
so
I try
Right.
not to
I'm
cuss.
Snarky, you're not the only one. I'm ex-military and I run a trucking company. It's really, really hard for me too.
I'm not saying that I'm the only one. I'm
You're not
just,
the only one.
I just am saying this is my struggle.
This is also my struggle, but then I see my cute little nephew's face in my head and I'm like,
So hard. And I don't hold nothing against it.
I
I
know.
am trying because I care.
We all can be good for 2 hours or so. Come on.
It's a going over 2 hours. That's my concern.
Man, that's what I try to have to focus on it because I don't even know when I say a boo boo word.
Okay, look, it's over 2 hours. This is my concern. This is like our line of defense is 2 hours and we're over 2
My
hours. We're
God,
about to
Papa, you
explode.
love me.
We're all gonna have Tourette's
Are you
when we
are you
hit the back.
suggesting we do our final thought roundtable? We
Yeah,
start
no,
our
I haven't
final
even got to
thought.
say anything.
Oh God, you haven't
It's
gone. Of
my
course.
turn.
I'm
I
so
was like,
sorry.
hold on.
I'm so sorry. Now we're gonna get something good. Let's go.
Okay. So there are many things in my life that I've experienced from a very young age. But I used to, like, when I was young, like, I would actually see things and, like, feel things and just have, like, a discernment or, like, a third sense or, like, fifth sense or sixth sense or whatever it is. That weird little intuition that you get in your soul that something else is with you. And I was constantly, like, feeling a presence of something, but I could never see it. And but I always had that definite feeling of like I could feel that there was something there or whatever.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Yeah. And then when I had my childhood experience, I thought I was gonna die and something, I have no idea what it was, lifted me and I felt myself give way and I felt myself get really, really extremely light and like I was floating. And then I hit the ground so hard it took my breath. And when I hit the ground, I got my breath back and I stopped seeing the light, but I was hurting. I felt like I was broken, like, and I realized I was really actually hurt and that I needed to get up and try to survive. But it was crazy because I had that moment of like this just light lifting experience and then slamming into the ground. And then when I hit the ground, I felt like, oh my God, I feel like every bone in my body is broken. But I remember fighting. I remember getting up. I remember working my way to whatever it was that saved me. And we won't get into that because nobody needs those details. But that feeling of just like that transcending into another place and then slam me back into the ground. And
Yeah.
then through my whole life since then, I've been sensitive to so many things. Like I feel things. I feel other people. Like someone could walk past me and I get this like eerie feeling of like, that's not a good person. I just
Yeah,
instantaneously
you feel
get
the
that.
energy. I
Yeah.
understand you. We
And the
are so
vibrations.
alike, you and me. Our
Yeah.
empathy somehow
Right.
make us feel energies like of
Mhm.
any kind, like
Right.
paranormal energies, people energies. Like we have a really deep empathy.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
So I was
Negative
renting.
energy, positive energy. Yeah.
Yes, I can feel when people are really good and genuine, and I can feel when their vibrations are up, and I can feel when their
Yeah,
vibrations are down, and I can
right.
feel when someone's just frustrated, but they're really, really a good person. And then I also get those people that are just dark, and you can't see anything, and those ones scare me
Yeah,
because they're
yeah,
just dark. Yeah, and you're just like,
yeah.
but I want to tell
Okay,
you
okay.
guys,
Now I wonder where I rate. Which one am I?
you are on the light scale. That's why you're on my panel.
Okay, I want to make sure.
You're on my light scale.
Hey, dude, we let you in the door. You must be
I know,
okay.
right?
Well, she let Harper in there. So.
Okay,
Yeah.
Well,
so
he's okay too.
so um something that was very interesting is I was raised Christian. As you guys see, I wear a cross around my neck,
Oh, what's going
and I
on?
was raised Christian my whole life. My grandfather was a minister, he was a preacher, and I went to Sunday school and I helped sing in the church and I played 3 4 instruments and I was up on stage with my grandparents all the time when they had their church and I was very much raised Christian and there was a day that came and all of a sudden I started questioning things and it was after my grandparents had both passed. So they were both no longer they were still an influence in my life, but they weren't there every day to push me to follow that path. And when my grandma passed away, we found some documents, and the documents were very, very creepy because it's the documents were basically like where she had a past of where her family had generated from the Vikings and Scandinavia, and then they had went to Italy, and then they hid among the Italian people because they had the same tone of skin and the same curly hair, and they adapted to being Italians. And so I know Shane and everybody out there is going to be like, oh, don't do that DNA thing. But I did do the DNA thing. And it's funny, it only came back that I was only like 4% Italian, where my grandma grew up and was raised in Italy. She swears she's an FBI, full blooded Italian. But most
Mm-hmm.
of my DNA came back as Scandinavian. And it was
Really?
crazy.
What?
Yeah,
But
mine too, kinda.
I didn't I didn't go through one of those kind of DNA places that you pay like the 21andMe or whatever. Like
Yeah.
I went through a personal one that's close and nearby that I actually could take it in and get it analyzed. And it wasn't for like like it wasn't it was personal. It's a personal lab. So it's not like one of those big places
Yeah.
that's like just
That's so
commercialized. There's not, but
interesting.
yeah. And then I also found out I have 4% African American, and I have some also Punjabi East Indian in me, Arabic, and like a bunch of other things came up, and I was just like, I wouldn't expect any less. But yeah. So, anyways, what I'm trying to say is, wherever we come from, whatever our DNA is, whatever our makeup is, it doesn't define us as a person, really. I mean, it makes who we are, it makes our genetics, but we are who we
Yes,
are because of who we choose to be. And
exactly.
so, growing up my whole life, my grandmother being from Scandinavia, the story is told through our family generations that they were witches. And so people always say, like, oh, well, the reason your grandfather became a minister was to protect you and your siblings and everyone, because you came from a natural born witch in your history. And I'm like, I don't know about all that, but I do know I have natural instincts. I can pick up on things very instantaneously. I can feel things. The moon makes me excited and happy. The elements, I love the elements, fire, earth, air, water. Like I love all of that. I do have a fascination for the sky and the stars and the moon and just anything and everything but I love. Um, Thank you, Jeff. I just love earth, and I'm more grounded when I could just sit on the earth and touch the earth and feel the earth and touch the plants and play with the plants and stuff like that. So
You
I
know,
don't
everything you just said is 110% what Wiccans believe.
I don't know what that is. I've never I'm drawn to crystals. Like I showed you guys my crystal collection.
It's more Wiccan stuff.
I
That's
don't know. I
the
just know
natural witch, the real witch, the Earth Mother, the Earth
I don't
Goddess.
I don't know.
I
I have
know a
no
lot
These
about.
religions and things, they came about
Okay,
because,
y'all have to
yeah.
excuse my booty. Like, see, I have
Hey, Booty, you're
stones.
excused.
Thanks. Like, I have
Okay,
crystals that
crazy.
shimmer.
Listen, guys, I have like how can I call this? Like security situation here in Jerusalem. I think I need to prepare for shelter, so I
Right
need to
now,
leave you right now. Yes,
hey,
something is
hey,
going on with Lebanon,
bless
and I don't know
everyone.
what's going on.
Moment
I
of
think to
silence
need
for Polly. Moment of silence for Polly. Polly, keep us
I will
posted.
let you know that everything is okay, but right now I think I need to prepare to shelter. So I want to
Okay,
be
go,
ready.
Polly.
My boy needs to
Okay.
come. So I'm sorry I need to leave like this.
No,
Please take care and
Polly,
stay
just keep
safe.
me posted.
He
Let me
said,
know if
nice
you're
to meet
okay.
you. Yeah.
I will, I
Keep me posted.
promise.
Okay.
God
Bye.
bless you.
Polly, stay
Huge
safe.
hugs, guys. Thank
Stay
you
safe,
so
Polly.
much. I love you very much and stay safe. Okay, I will
Stay
let you
safe, Polly.
know. Bye. Sorry.
Ciao.
It's okay. Be safe. That's more important. Okay, guys, we're gonna have a moment of silence for Polly. Let's keep her in our minds. And
For all the people that are living in war torn state.
yeah.
Bless her heart.
If you guys saw the video of her and her son kickball playing in front of the big orange tree in their front yard and running around the yard, just playing cute and kickballing back and forth, and it's just like, anyways, I don't think I need to go on with my story anymore. I say like we go ahead and wrap it up for the night, you guys.
Sounds good.
I'm kind of moved, so. But we'll finish it next Saturday. Is that good with you guys?
Sounds good.
That's great.
All good. Okay, Chance. Thank you so much for being my co-host tonight. You were awesome. Thank you. First time, Chance at BBB being co-host. Poor Sarah.
Hopefully Sarah will be able to talk by next week.
Yeah, hopefully
Right.
Sarah will be able to come back. Rome again. Thanks, sister. Love you in the chat. I see you, Shane. I see everybody. I see Jeff. Maybe I could talk Jeff this week into coming next week and telling us his story. You is Jeff, by the way. Everyone, I love you guys, but right now we just kind of need to wrap it up. And
I'm going to put on the news. What the heck's going on? I'm really concerned.
So peace, everyone. Please drop comments. If you guys want to get in touch with Polly, you want to know how she's doing, hit me up. I'll let you guys know. I have her on a personal chat, so I'll keep everybody posted. We love you guys.
Happy trails.
Yep. And I'll be interviewing Debbie Weiss on my show Friday, who owns
Perfect.
in Malibu, California, an art gallery pertaining to animated films and television. I just had to mention that. I know we're ending somber and we're
it's okay.
praying. Yeah, I just want to mention
Snarky,
that.
when are you, or
The Nostalgia
mid-size
Club Live.
Sasquatch, mid-size Sasquatch, when do you go live again?
Well, Sasquatch doesn't go live. But usually me and Sarah try to do a Thursday It's whatever happens, happens, and there's plenty of cussing.
Yeah, I know. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Don't be
Guys.
sorry. Stop that. It's called a running gag, a running joke. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm wholesome. Not really. Get me backstage. How about that?
No, no,
And,
y'all. Don't come there lie. She's
and
an adult, you know.
shout out to Keebler too. PlayQuest was a lot of
Love
fun.
her.
Absolutely, Keebler.
Chrissy and I
That was
played
100%
so
one
Keebs.
fun. If you
PlayQuest.
guys get a chance, go check out last week's Play Quest. It was so fun with us on there. It was
Last
great.
Wednesday night. Yeah, and I think that show's going to take off. I think she's onto something. It's a great format.
Yeah. Yep.
I
We
can't wait for the next.
Yep. It's gonna be good.
See y'all next week for part 2. Peace. Danny?
Happy trails.
Okay, I was waiting for that.